Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and a Fog of War puzzle today. This is by Oddly Even, who's done some brilliant puzzles in the past for the channel. I'm looking forward to giving this one a go. They're not always Oddly Even's puzzles based on parity, but they can be, so we'll see. I'll have a go at that in a minute and tell you the rules. I've at least twice recently I've forgotten to put the rules card up. No, I've forgotten to go through the rules live. That's really weird. I don't know how that's happened twice, but there you go. Sorry. Anyway, don't forget that on Patreon we have loads of extra content, including our monthly reward hunts, or packs, and then other packs as well of extra Sudoku content and crossword videos. We often have connections videos, so loads going on there. And solution videos to those reward hunts as well. So there's extra videos to watch if you can't get enough on a day-to-day basis from Cracking the Cryptic, which is a rare complaint, I believe, because we do put out a lot of content, we know. Amongst the content we put out, though, is all of our apps, which are fantastic pieces of material, great for testing your skills on, and line Sudoku is one of them, although I'm not sure we've had these product lines in any of the apps. What else we got going on? We've got all kinds of stuff. We've got our merchandise and Sven's Sudoku pad. You can find your way to the Discord server, the catalogue of all our puzzles, our snail mail address if you want to send us anything through the post, and why would you? But the first link under the video is to Mystery Product by Oddly Even, and the rules are these. I am remembering to do them today. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 goes in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box in the grid. The grid is partially covered in fog. Placing a correct digit will clear the fog from surrounding cells. But we mustn't cheat. Product sum lines. So digits along a line sum to the product of the digits in the squares at either end of the line. If it's the same square, multiply that digit by itself. Digits can repeat on a line if permitted by normal Sudoku rules. Lines don't, okay, here's stuff to remember. Lines do not branch or cross, but they may share squares with other lines. So let's bear that in mind as we go. There's no rule given about lines not having diagonal segments, so we'll see as we go. But we'll have to bear in mind that until we get told otherwise they could have. But that's it. Those are the rules. Give it a try. The great thing about Fog of War puzzles is that they are fairly linear, so you'll probably make the same deductions, at least in the early part of the puzzle, as I'm going to have to make to get going. Let's get cracking. So we've only got one line to deal with here to start with. So the digits, so this digit squared is going to be it's going to be the sum, not the product of these. That's a relief, because I wasn't seeing how that could possibly work. They're not product lines. I think I advertised that these were product lines. It's the product of the two ends of the line in the boxes, or single box, that is the product. So, could this be a 5? If this was a 5, these would add up to 25, plus that 5 is 30. Now, I get to share with you the secret to all Sudoku, the ineffable truth that underlies so much variant Sudoku. Every row, every column, and every box always adds up to the same mystical, magical number. It is 45. So if you didn't know that before, use that secret wisely. And the wise way to use it here is to say that if this was a 5, those would add up to 25, plus that is 30, and this digit would have to be 15, which is not a digit and is not the right answer. So this must be at least 6. And 7 would be too high, because then these digits would add up to 49, which is already more than 45. So that is a 6. And it's very unusual to get to place your first digit in a Fog of War puzzle and it doesn't clear any fog, but there we are. So these add up to 36. That's a 6. That's 42. Take that away from 45, and we clear some fog with a 3. Ooh, on a triangle-y thing. No, it's not on a... No, this is not a triangle thing. I'm quite wrong. I think because I had that box highlighted, I thought I was looking at a similar shape to this with a double square there. No, this is not a triangle. It looks like a triangle, but it's not. It is two separate lines connecting these two squares. So the product of these two squares is both the digit in that cell and the sum of those. Well, to be the digit in that cell, this is going to have to be 1 or 2. But if this was a 1, these would have to add up to 3, which is clearly nonsensical. So I think that has to be a 2, yes. This is now 6, the product of the two cells. Yeah, it's all working. And this is a 1, 2, 3 triple because they add up to 6 as well. This is very nice. I like the way this is going. But now we've got a lot more lines and squares revealed, but until we know what they connect up with, they're not a lot of use, I think. So I think we look at this one now. Right, the rule was that lines don't branch or cross. And I presume... I don't see any reason why I can't apply that to a single line not branching or crossing itself. So I think this must be a square in this cell, which we are going to, well, we're therefore going to square the digit, quite literally, to get the total of these cells. So if this was a 5, again, these would add up to 25. Well, that's too many for 3 different digits in Sudoku. So this is not a 5. If this was a 3, and now I think I'm going too low, these would add up to 9. Well, you can add up to 9 in 3 different digits, and you can even do it without using a 2, but then you would be using a 3, which we were postulating would be here. So this is definitely a 4 in a square. There it is. And these add up to 16. Do we know what they are? Sorry, I'm actually going to have to do that maths rather than just ask the question. If there was a 1 in them, the other two would be 7, 8. If there was a 3 in them, the other two would be 5, 8. If 5 was the lowest digit, it's impossible. Okay, so it's either 3, 5, 8 or 1, 7, 8. I'm pretty sure about that. So there's definitely an 8 there. 3, 5, 8 or 1, 7, 8. Those are slightly odd totals, but 9 is not included. Does that tell me whether 9... Oh, well, I don't know. Let's think about the two possibilities. If it was 3, 5, 8, these other cells are 1, 7, 9. Well, that could work with... Obviously, you couldn't put the 2 high digits in the squares, because that would give you a 63 sum. And you couldn't put 1 and 7 in the squares because 9 would be on the line. So the squares would be 1 and 9, that would be a 7, and that would be a 2. So that's how this would work if this was 3, 5, 8. If this was 1, 7, 8, then these cells are 3, 5, 9. That would have to be 3. This couldn't be 9, this would have to be 5. And that would be 9, and this would be 6. Oh my goodness, okay. That's how it doesn't work. If this was 1, 7, 8, adding up to 16, that would be a 3. The 5 and 9 here, we can easily work out, well, the two ways round they could go make this line have to add up to the product, obviously, and the 2 ways round they could go make this either a 22, which I think is, you'll agree, is slightly implausible, or a 6, which is possible, obviously, by Sudoku, but not once we've got that 6 there. So that doesn't work. So this is not 1, 7, 8. This is 3, 5, 8. We know nothing about the order. These ones are 1, 7, 9. And as I've just said, that can't be 7 and 9, because that would be 63, and we'd have to have a 62 here, which is the least plausible number I've ever posited. So there is a 1 in those cells and not there. Now, if these were 1 and 7, we'd be adding up to 7, but we'd already have 9 on the line. That doesn't make sense. So that's a 1, 9 pair. This is a 7, and to add up to 9 on the line, that's a 2. There we go, and it keeps working. Now, okay, I think we can't really do Sudoku. We're just going to have to move on to this line now. So we've got a 1 or a 9 there. And what have we got here? Well, we've got 1, 4, 5, 6, 8 or 9 just by Sudoku. But those are really interesting, because if 9 was there, this couldn't be as high as 4, because that would have to add up to 36. And obviously it gets worse the higher you go. So if 9 was there, that's a 1. So there's definitely a 1 in one of these boxes. And therefore, I'm going to use Sudoku now. If there's definitely a 1 in one of those boxes, that is not a 1, because they're looking at it. So that's a 9. That's now a 1. And now this isn't a 1 or a 9. It's not a 1 because those can't add up to 1. They also can't add up to 4 or 5 or 6 because 2 has been used in the box. So that's an 8. And these are now a 1, 4, 3 triple. And that's a 1 and that's a 3, 4 pair. 3, 4 I say. So those don't have a 3 in, and that's where 3 is. And this top row needs 2, 7 and 9. I like these puzzles. I like the way they work. That is a 9, 7 pair by Sudoku. This is a 5, 6 pair. That's a 1, 4 pair. Now, what's going on this line? Now, this could be a square, or it could be a join in the line. I don't see that we know either way yet. I think we know, because 1, 2, 3 have been used there, that this can't be a square. What the minimum value of the two multiplicands, there's a good old maths term, would be 4 and 5, and the minimum value there would be 20. So that's not a square. And therefore, since lines don't cross or branch, this is a line joining these two squares, and they are the products. Now, what is the minimum? 7 and 4. Which is 28. Now, but I have to remember that these don't have to be different. If that was a 9, the minimum would be 36, 9 times 4. Now that is too much. Because even with... Is it too much? 36, yes it is. Even with 9, 8, 7 there, you'd need a 12. So that's a 7 in the corner, and that's a 9. Simon often remarks that placing correct digits in a fog of war puzzle and not seeing them clear fog is quite alarming for a moment. And it is, even though it shouldn't be. Anyway, 7 is multiplying. Now, I was going to work out whether this could be as many as 5. It's either 4 or 5, I think. Because if it was 6, 42 is way too big a number. Is 35 too big a number? Yeah, it is, isn't it? 9, 6, 8, 9... only adds up to 32, so that is a 4. And these cells add up to 19. Now, if that's a 6, these add up to 13, which couldn't be 4, 9, and couldn't be 6, 7. They would be 5, 8 if that's a 6. The reason they couldn't be 6, 7 is because if we had a 6 there, this couldn't be 6 or 7. So if this is a 6, this is a 5, 8 pair. If this is a 5... these add up to 14 then, and they couldn't be a 5, 9 pair because of that pair sitting looking at that. So then they would be a 6, 8 pair. So there's always an 8 in them. And this is a 5, 6, 8 triple, effectively. I say with a little confidence, I think it is, yeah. Now, this digit sees a 1, 2, 3 triple, a 4, and definitely an 8, also a 9 above it. So that is 5, 6, or 7. Oh, and this line, yeah, this can't be a square because that would make no sense. So this is a line of 2 cells joining these 2 squares. Ooh, and that's already got quite big. 5, 6, or 7. Now, hang on, 4, I get to do Sudoku, 3 and 4. This, if it's not a 1, it's at least a 5. That would make the product 25, which you can't fit in 2 cells. So that is a 1. These 2 now add up to 5, 6, or 7. This digit is, therefore, well, not 7 actually, because that would give you too many. 5 or 6. But this one has to be at least a 2. So I think we can now go 5, 2, 7. And I'm confident that was right. Okay, let's do a little bit of Sudoku. These can't have a 5 in. That's quite an important bit of Sudoku, because it tells us that this is a 5. And that's a 6. And that fixes this pair, 8 and 6. The remaining digits in this row are 5 and 9. And strangely, I don't know the order. This is a 7, 9 pair by Sudoku. That is 3 and that's 2. We're ticking along here now. And now I've been avoiding this because although it might join up down there, it might not. I don't know. Or it might join up on a longer route. But this line, or rather these 2 boxes, are connected because I can just in the bottom left corner of row 7, column 9, I can see a green line. So they join here. So this is 1, 4, or 8 by Sudoku. In fact, they all are. It can't be a 1 because then that group would add up to 2. And it can't be a 4 because that group would add up to 8. And we've already got at least a 7 there. So that's an 8. This group adds up to 16. Now I'm going to add up the whole column. 16 there, 26, 27, 35. The other 2 cells add up to 10. So that's a 1 or a 3. But we've got an 8, 1, 4 triple. So that's a 3. That's a 7. That's a 9. This must now work. 5 and 2. 9, 5 and 2 add up to 16, which is the total of 8 times 2. It did. Now, this, okay, let's bear in mind that it could be a square. It looks like it's a connected thingy. If that was a square, though, the minimum sum for the minimum multiplicands there are 3 and 5, and that would be 15. So that is part of the line segment. We're multiplying 3 by something here, which by Sudoku is 3, 6, or 8. It can't be a 3 because we're already adding up to at least 13 there. If it was an 8, we'd be looking at 24. Yeah, that's possible. If it was a 6, we'd be looking at 18. And that isn't possible because the minimum there is 6 and 7 is 13. The maximum here would be 5, but 1 and 2 have already been used. No way. That has to be an 8. And we are looking at a 24 total. Now I'm going to work out the possibilities, or am I going to do Sudoku? What do you think? I think I'm going to try and do some Sudoku first. Oh, and I've got this line now. Right, I'm going to put in the candidates. 4, 5, 9 there. Lots of candidates here. But 4 is already quite big. So this can't be, it can't even be a 4. Because the product of those would be either 16 or 20 or more. 20 or more is too many. 16 doesn't work because 9 and 7 can't go there. So this is 1 or 2. And we're multiplying that by 4, 5, or 9. Now that still gives 6 possible totals here, which are 4, impossible. 5, 4 is impossible because a 1, 3 pair breaks that cell. 5, which is a 1 there and a 4 there. You'd have 1 there and 3 there. You couldn't do 5 here. You need an odd low number on it. 1 times 9 would make this, well, a 5, 4 pair, very specifically. That's possible. 1 times 9 is possible. If that's a 2, this could be 4, but there's no 1, 7, 2, 6 and 3, 5 would all be ruled out of here. So that's not a 4. If this was a 2, could this be... This couldn't be 9 then, because 18's too many. So 2 times 5 is 10. That would leave this to add up to 10, but it couldn't be 9, 1, 7, 3 or 2, 8. So it would be 4, 6. So this is either a 4, 6 or a 4, 5 pair. It definitely uses 4. That's a little bit frustrating. No, it's not, because where does 6 go in this box? It's ruled out of those cells, so it is on this pair. That is now definitely a 4, 6 pair. This is a 5. Oops, no fog cleared because I was in the wrong mode. This is a 2, there we go. That 5 makes this a 9. Now I can fill in this cell as a 5 in row 4. This becomes 1 or 3. Might still have work to do here. 3, 9, 7, 4, 6, 2. These are from 1, 5 and 8. Oh no, I must be able to do this line now. These are from 3, 5 and 6. So, okay, I need a 24 total on the line. I'm going to add up all these digits and find out what is not on the line. And the sum of those is 14 there, 22 here, that's 36. I need 24 on the line, so these two add up to 12, but they can be the same digit. Oh, there's lots of ways that works. Oh, by Sudoku, this can't be 3. So now that can't be 9. There's still 2 ways it works, which is frustrating. I'm just going to mark in yellow the 2 cells that add up to 12. Oh, that 2 has sorted out a 5 here, which comes out of that cell as a possibility. 1, 3, 2, 6. These are from 4, 7, 8, 9. That top one can't be an 8. I'm going to have to find one. I mean, we're going to have to move on to another line now to keep going, which is quite surprising. These digits are from 4, 6, 8, 9. Well, I mean, I can't just connect those up in a random line and hope it's right. Oh, I've got a line coming out of this square as well. I don't know. I'm going to have to find out something else about the puzzle. Maybe I have to think about the yellow squares more, the yellow cells. Oh, I've got a 5 there looking up to the top. Now, that might be helpful. That means there's no 8 down here. This is a 4, 7, 9 triple. There's a 5 in that group, so these are a 1, 8 pair. I could have done that this way around as well. 8, 5, 2. Is there some deep Sudoku to do now? That's not a 5. This isn't a 6. Do I know which way around that 4, 6 pair go, or this 1, 3 pair? I don't think I do. There's definitely 2 ways for this to go. If that's a 5, that's a 7. How does that break something? For those to be both 6s, we'd have a 6 in one of those positions. No. Okay, this is on a line, this is on a line, this is on a line. What's that? I don't know what that's telling me. If I missed a line somewhere... I haven't. Right. What's going on next? This got tricky suddenly. I don't know. I'm very surprised. Okay, 2 is going to multiply by something and not give a huge total. But... oh. Ah, I see. Oh my goodness. Well, I might see. I don't know. Let's just check. I'm going to draw some lines. in the puzzle. So this line definitely goes down to that cell. And this line definitely goes down to, that's the poor color choice. Let's do it in darker green. That goes down to that cell. Now, I'm going to suggest, and this might be wrong, that this square can't be a 1. Because, oh no, this isn't right. I was going to say that the digit that appears on its line would also have to appear somewhere in box. Yeah, okay, I'm on the wrong track there, but something's going on here. This cell can't be a 2 by Sudoku. And therefore, this is not the only cell on the line. What I'm saying is this can't be a square. This line has to continue somewhere. And that's going to constrain where this line can go. What I'm trying to get at is this line can never finish outside its box. It would either have to cross the green line, which must come down to there or to there. I suppose the green line could come down to there. And this could then get up to there. I don't know, maybe it's a very false goal to try and stop the square at the end of the orange line being outside its box. And of course it could join up to there or there. Okay, these two can't join up because their total would be at most 6. And with a 4 at least there, you're going to exceed that on its line. So they're different coloured lines. Okay, that's worth knowing. Now, this 2 cannot end here. We've just discovered that. Because the only way this is even, that would be a 2. I don't know if I actually explained that, but I have seen it. So this line carries on. It adds at least 4 and something else here. And what's the square that it's going to join up to going to be? I don't know. It's going to add those 2 cells. I suppose their minimum total so far is 5. Is this it? Am I somehow going to have to work out what these lines are all going to... I think this one might join up. I don't think this can be a 1. Let me think about that again. 1 times something else means that the number of cells on the line have to be more than 1 digit unless it could immediately jump out of the box, which it can't. That is at least constrained. So this line would have to have at least 2 digits on it. I don't know. Okay, let's just think about the candidates here then. I have got nothing left to do other than... Oh, there's a 2 X-wing there and there. And 2's here and here. I mean, this cell in the corner is a 2. That's going to clear some fog. And that's going to make things interesting. Right, bingo. Oh, that's huge. It's a big old Sudoku step based on an X-wing. Sorry, just to explain that X-wing. There is a 2 in one of those 2 cells, and in this row there is a 2 in one of those 2 cells. Those are going to use up the 2's for columns 2 and 3, and therefore these cells can't contain 2's because the 2's have been used in those columns. That's why I can use these 2's to put a 2 in the corner. And now I can see that this orange line goes to there, doesn't it? That is a line, and therefore this can't be a 1. That's a 3. These 2 add up to 6, and they can't use 2, and they're different from each other, so they're 1 and 5, and it's all got more straightforward. But you had to find that 2 in the corner. Oh, that was a 2 in the spotlight, all right. Anyway, that's a 2 now, and that fixes the 2 at the top. This can't be 9. Yeah, this is all going to get quite a bit easier. There's a very strong prediction. This is a 4, 6, 8 triple. In fact, that's a 3. This is just Sudoku. No, it's not a 468 triple. It can have a 9 in, so calm down. Okay, we've still got a bit of work to do, but that's become a 5. Pretty sure of that. And we remember the 2 yellow cells had to add to 12 so that this line would add up correctly to 24. So let's get rid of yellow. Done the job. 8572. That can't be a 7. 2, 2. We've done 2s, obviously. 2s were the absolute fundamental key to everything. So, I don't know, I just want to fall into the solution now. What can this digit be? 1, 2, 5, 3, 9, 4, 6, 7 or 8. So this pair adds up to 8. Well, that doesn't make sense because everything on it would be a 4 as well as that. Or 12, 14 or 16. The only way for that to be a 4 is if this is 8 and that's 6. That does work. If this is a 9, that has to be 3, 5 or 7. It can't be 3 or 5. It would be 7. So this is 7 or 8. And this is not 7 for those totals. This is 6 or 8. This is probably a very weird way of going about a very simple ending at this point. But anyway, the 4 in this column is now in one of those 2 cells. So none of these are 4s in that box. Oh, I don't know. What is this digit? This is not 1 or 2. Is it definitely the other? Can this be a square in our last remaining, virtually our last remaining bit of fog? I doubt that it can, but let's just check. It would multiply by that, and if it was a 1, that digit would be the same as that, which isn't allowed. If it was higher, that digit would be at least 24. So this is on a line, and that times that is somewhere between 12 and 72. And this digit is 3, 4 or 9. So 1 and 6 is the minimum there. These either add to 7, 8 or 13. I've got 9 possible totals to consider. That's annoying. Oh, bother. Okay, there's no simple way of finishing this off. I just have to do something. I just have to work it out. That's fair enough. One of these is a 3 by Sudoku. Right, if that's the 3, we're looking at a sum of 12, 18 or 24. It's not 24. It's not 18, because that doesn't work with any of the possibilities here and what can go there. So it would be 12 if this is the 3. That's a 4. This would be 1, 7, and that would be 4. Okay, that's probably what's going to happen then. So 3 there makes that a 4. Otherwise, this is a 3. And then the possible totals on the line are 10, which won't work with any of those. 11, which absolutely won't work with any of those. Or 16, which would require a 4 there and a 4 here. So whichever way... So this is now 3 or 4. If that's a 3, this is a 4. Otherwise, this is a 3. And in both cases, this is a 4. So that's always a 4. That is weird. 6, 4. That can't be 6. We've got an 8, 9 pair. This is a 1, 6, 7 triple. Now, if that's a 3, this is a 4. Otherwise, this is a 3. And that's a 4. So this is never a 9. This is now a 3, 4 pair. That takes some figuring out, doesn't it? 1, 4 there. This can't be a 1. That's a 1. Does that resolve this one? It can't add up to 16 now. So that's a 3. That's a 4. 4, 5, 12. That's a 7. Okay. I think I've got that now. 8 there now by Sudoku, 7 there. This is a 9 to make that sum work, and we've made all the lines work finally at some wear and tear to the old brain box. 8, 7, that's a 3, 6, 6, 9. This 8, 1 pair is done. This is a 4, 7 pair that is done, and we finish in the corner with a 4. And the mystery product is solved. Lovely. 32 minutes. What a beautiful puzzle. I do enjoy puzzles like that. Great fun. And, you know, a really entertaining solution path for me. I was intrigued when this sort of area was all blocked up with fog, and we had to find that number in the corner by Sudoku. Often a useful tool. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.